Okay, so now we'll show you how to do the first step. So when you're already done all the experiments and you got some results to be published, so first is to do the result and discussion part. And first is to make the skeleton. The easiest way of making a skeleton is first to make, you can put in a word, make a table, okay, and then in the table you can arrange into 2 columns and some rows. How many rows? It depends on how many graphs you have, okay, and it depends on how many pages. Generally, in a journal paper, it's roughly 7 pages and roughly 7 to 8 graphs. Okay, so you should have like 7 rows over here. Then, so the first column is for you to put your graphs. Okay, and the second column is for you to put some notes. Okay, so for example, you have first of all, you just sometimes you don't know where to start. You just dump. You already have the graphs. You already discussed the graph with your supervisor or me. Then you just paste the graph inside the boxes here. So maybe you have the IV over here at room temperature IV. Put some title of the graphs there, right? And then maybe the second one you have IV again, but temperature dependence of the IV. And then maybe the third one you have the CV of your graph, C versus V. And then maybe the fourth one you have some doping profile. Okay, so doping versus depth. So you can put everything there, and then on the right here you write down the observation. Okay, so what do I mean by observation? For example, observation means that when you look at the graph, what do you see? That's the first thing you wrote. So that's the first thing you write. So for example, you see, the current increases with voltage, right? And then however, saturated at maybe, I don't know, 10 volt. Okay, so first write the observation. Then I don't have I don't have enough space. Then after you wrote some observation, next is you write some discussion. Okay, so next is you write some discussion. So the discussion, so this is the observation, and then next is the discussion. So what you want to discuss, or you want to say, normally discussion, you compare the result with other people's result, or you compare your result with another result, right? So you write down your discussion for each one. So you have observation and discussion. So do for the rest for all of the graphs. Okay, so this is the first step. So step 1. So this is the first step 1. Then step 2 is for you to arrange. Okay, when you're writing a paper, there must be a story. Okay, there must be a story. So if you read any journal paper, they will go through the result, and then they have a story to tell and to conclude with what the story is highlighting. So sometimes you can do like for example, your experiment, you get graph number 1 first, and then you get number 4 first, second, and number for example, your experiment, you done number 1, number 2, number 3, and 4, and so forth. But it doesn't there's no story. The story is not strong. So sometimes in order to make the story strong, you need to rearrange. So maybe number 4 will become number 2, and number 2 number 3, and then number 6 number become number 5. Okay, so just copy and paste, so it becomes you copy and paste so that it becomes in a nice story. Okay, so once you done this, once you think that's a story, then you can discuss with your supervisor. You discuss with your supervisor whether the supervisor or me agree or not with the story and how you line it. Okay, so when the supervisor is happy with the skeleton, then you start writing. Because if that you have no, so this is the heart. This skeleton is actually the heart of the journal. If the heart is not there, the journal paper will die. Okay, so settle this, the supervisor happy, then we move to the next step. Okay. When you already done the skeleton and you discuss with the supervisor and the supervisor agrees, then you will start writing. Okay, you start putting into paragraphs and words. Step number 5 is you can do this in parallel with step number 1, 2, 3 and 4, which is to write the methodology section. Normally methodology is one of the easiest because you already know what you have done, you just write it. And the style of writing the methodology section is by looking at other people's work. So if you and follow their style, because a methodology shouldn't be too long. It should be a summary of your methodology. Step 6, you will write the conclusion. Okay, you don't start with the introduction first. So then you write the conclusion. So you know what's the conclusion of the paper based on the result and discussion. Okay, then you can discuss the conclusion with your supervisor. After you finish the conclusion, so you already have 3 parts finished: methodology, result, discussion, and conclusion. Then you start writing the introduction. Introduction is where it's like a mini literature review. So you have to show what have other people done in the area. So then you start writing in the introduction, and then you finalize the title. Okay, here then you think what is the best title to describe your results and discussion and also the conclusion. Okay, so step number 8 is the references. Okay, now while you are writing your introduction and also your result and discussion, you are already compiling the references. So the references actually you can do while doing the other steps. And the references, there are different journals have different types of different types of way to write the references. So first you can start. I always ask the student to start with IEEE IEEE style. Okay, then after that, depending on which journal you are submitting it to, then you change the references. So how to the best way to do references is to use software. So you can Google. Nowadays there's a free software. It's called Mendeley, Mendeley. Google it, and it's free. You can download it and can use it. So you should use it starting off your research work. Then step number 9 is to read the whole paper again. Okay, so during step 1 to step 9, you'll be going back and forth to the supervisor, and the supervisor will correct the paper, everything including the way of how you are writing, the facts, and also the ideas. So when everything's okay, you and your supervisor is happy with the paper. And finally, the step number 10 is to submit the journal paper. The question is, where do you submit your journal paper? Okay, there are many publishers out there, from tier 1 to tier 4. What is tier 1 and tier 4? I will discuss it in another video. So where to submit, we have, inshallah, we have another video for that. Okay, and you can always discuss with your supervisor where to submit. So basically that's all. So if you can do that, then inshallah you're on your way of to write a good journal paper, inshallah. And always refresh your intention of doing this. Hopefully when you do this, you will get the reward from Allah. Not only you will get this dunya, you will get the akhirah. You know, this is our, as a Muslim, we should contribute to the scientific world, and this is our way of honestly, with integrity, contributing to the scientific world by publishing journal papers. Okay, thank you.